I'm so sorry that the book is in Portuguese. Of course, I'm going to talk with you guys in English, but the ones that do speaks Portuguese or reads in Portuguese, this is the book that I'm talking today, one of them. And we do have this book here if you guys get interested in know a little bit more. And one of the reasons that I choose this subject is that a lot of times we are chasing happiness. We are looking for the recipe for happiness. And a lot of talks, a lot of books, not only Spiritist books, I mean, is one of the subjects that we have more books today in the market with a lot of, professionals writing books about it, doing research about it. But one of the things that in the Spiritism I like when I look for the subject and I find answers is that they are very clear and they tell you really the recipe, what we can do to achieve, the happiness that we are looking for. And when we do chase, the happiness in our life, Hermance Dufault, she was one of the mediums that worked with Allan Kardec back then in 1800s. She was one of the mediums. She said that the most mistake that we do when we are chasing the happiness, when we are looking for the happiness, she says that one of the mistakes is the idea that the happiness is a divine plan. Sometimes we think that we don't deserve or we don't have it because it's a divine plan. God's put us here and He decides who's going to be happy and who is not going to be happy. So let me tell you guys something. This is like a very, very huge mistake. If we believe that God is love and that He loves all of us, how He can choose, how He can have a divine plan to somebody to be happy and to somebody to be sad or whatever the adjective that you guys want to think about it. And the other mistake that we do when we are looking for happiness, according to Hermance Dufault, as we are looking for magic formulas. We are looking for those formulas that will give us the happiness in immediateness, instantaneousness. And this, it's not going to work either, because we know there is no, magic formulas. There is no something that we can do like that, and we will be happy. But there is little steps and very interesting steps that can help us achieve this happiness and can help us achieve the inner transformation that we need, and to looking inside us and getting to know ourselves a little bit more when we look at some informations with a little bit more attention. For example, Allan Kardec asked this question to the spirits back then in the 1800s on the Spiritist book. He asked the question that is the number 967. What does the happiness of a good spiritist consist of? Because we keep listening to that the good spirits, the spirits that are pure light, how they can be happy. What the happiness that they have, what is this happiness that they have? And I'm going to tell you guys, this is just a summary. The answer is much longer than this, but I'm not going to bring the whole answer because I would like you guys to go there and get the book and read the book. If you guys read like 1 page a day, soon enough you guys is going to finish and can give you guys more ideas, more questions to ask. So please, I invited everybody to look a little bit more on the Spiritist book and in the Gospel according to Spiritism. So they start the answer saying that in knowing the consistency of the happiness of good spirits consists in knowing all things, feeling neither hatred, jealousy, envy, ambition, nor any of the passions that make human beings miserable. This is just the beginning. And when you read this answer with a little bit more attention and with your heart open and with your mind open, you can understand that all these feelings, hatred, jealousy, envy, ambition, or any other passions that we feel every day, all the time, that we put ourselves through, make us miserable. And if it make us miserable, it doesn't make us happy. So this is just the beginning of the answer. And look how simple the answer is. That is not a magic formula. It's nothing that is complicated. But let's be, real. We love to complicate things. And if we move from the Spiritist book and we go to the Gospel According to Spiritism, that is one of my favorite books in the whole Spiritist, literature. Thank you. See, be patient with me. So this book is going to give us much more recipes for any answer that you have in your life. What I used to do, I do have my gospel, on my nightstand. So every day I look at every day, I read a little bit, but sometimes I'm feeling something that is bothering me. It doesn't matter the feeling that you are feeling. You think about it and you open. You close your eyes and you open. I'm sure that doesn't matter the question that you have, the answer will be on that page. Because again, we needed to look more deep on the answers. And on the chapter 5, blessed are the afflicted. I think you guys remember, right? Blessed are the afflicted, for they shall be consoled. Blessed are they which do hunger. Again, talking the gospel in English is a nightmare to me, but I'm gonna try. So on the item 18th of this chapter, it's not on the gospel anymore, but is the spirits, the good spirits, giving us some advices about this passage, blessed are the afflicted. And take a look at what is like one paragraph. It's a whole chapter, but look what one paragraph brings to us. The burden is always in proportion to the strength, just as the recompense depends on the degree of resignation and courage. The more painful the affliction, the greater the recompense. It behoves them to make ourselves worthy, and it is for this purpose that life presents itself so full of tribulations. Again, look how simple it is, but we needed to get, a deeper look when they say this purpose, and it is for this purpose that life presents itself so full of tribulations, because we needed to learn, appreciate the recompense, because if we don't have difficult times in our life, how do we going to appreciate the good ones? Again, we are not evolved yet to don't pass through turbulations. So we still need some situations to happen in our lives so we can learn to go through the situation, to go through that pain, and through that pain, learn, the greater recompense that we can have on the end of that situation. If we think a little bit, let's think like our lives right now. How was like maybe 10 years ago and how it is right now. How many blessings we had. If we think about it, the life of our parents back then, the way that they used to live and the way that we live right now, look the difference. And sometimes we don't take even 1 second to observe this difference in life, how we should appreciate those little things. And imagine that person that had, a terrible disease and they get cured. You imagine, the feeling that the person can have it? So those little things can help us achieving happiness in a good way. And on this book, starting now on this book that I bring to you guys, that if we translate, it's Emotions That Heal, If we think about it, this subjected, emotions that heal. When you're little, everybody tell us, particularly when you're children, teenagers, oh, you cannot feel jealous. It's not good. Oh, you cannot feel angry. Not good for you. This is not a good behavior. All those feelings that we think that are bad, we reprehend in the little children's, on teenagers, particularly guys, they cannot cry because men don't cry. I don't know who invented that. I'm not even going to go there. I spoke about this subject a long time ago. Today, I'm not going to even go there. So this book has a lot of teachings on those feelings that we think that are bad. Believe me, all those feelings, jealousy, angry, envy, are not bad. They are there to teach us something. And when we stop a little bit to listen, we can learn something very nice. We can learn something very good. So one of those things that this book teaches us is that when we are hard on ourselves, when we not accept our flaws or our imperfections, and we started to being very hard on ourselves, we get in a mental field, we get in a mental state that brings us all those feelings. First of all, when we do not accept that we are flawed, the first thing we feel sorrow. Why? Because when we are facing a frustration, we do not accept that. And that sorrow feeling comes true. And we cannot deal with the feeling. And that feeling started to giving us insecurity. Why? For not having control of the situations in our life. So everything that is not under our control, the sorrow brings the insecurity. After the insecurity, we do not stop there. Instead, we listen to and work through, we go to fear. What do we start to fear? We start to feel the events that is going to happen when we don't have control. So look at the situation. And those fear started to giving us guilt. Why? For not being able to be in control. So when we are feeling guilty because we cannot control the situation, we feel shame because we cannot achieve the goals that we are set to ourselves. And believe me, most of the time when we set some goals, they are kind of crazy. If we think about it, they are kind of crazy because we don't want to go through each step of life to achieve some goals. We want like that. We want magic formulas, and they are not going to happen. So we start to feel shame. And the shame transforms in a situation that will get us aggravated for so much inner struggle. Of course, when you're feeling all of those and much more at once, and we do not stop to get a deep breath and try to understand what we are feeling, try to understand what we are going through, of course we're going to get aggravated. Of course we're going to have an outbreak saying like, what's going on? And that's when we say, sometimes we just go to the floor and you say, no, I cannot deal with that anymore. And so if we are too hard on ourselves in this mental field, all of those things is going to happen to us. But the book started telling us that. But after the first chapter, it started giving us the recipe, saying that. So if we accepted that we are flawless and we understand that it's fine to be flawed, we're going to accept our reality. And our reality will be fundamental for acceptance, and also will be the key to achieve our inner transformation in a good way, And also will be another way that we can friendly and peacefully having a good relationship with ourselves. And how we can achieve all of those, understanding our limitations and deficiencies, thank you. You know, why? So when we can understand all of this, and we can look at ourselves with better eyes, and we can look at ourselves with more care, we can understand that accepting our flaws can give us a lot of good feeling. And the most interesting thing that the book brings to us, that when we are on that mental state, when we are on that mental field, that is most of the time, we are talking this daily basis, okay, guys? The book's not telling us something that is in a lifetime. It's in a daily basis. And also, they are bringing us some very, very curious data. Like, for example, in daily basis, 75% of us are stuck in the past. Only because we do not accept our reality, only because we feel all those feelings at once, and we start to getting aggravated, we start to, you know, having an outbreak. So 7% of us are stuck in the past. And when we are stuck in the past, what happens is that feeling of sorrow. So the sorrow comes and, you know, get us. And that sorrow brings it to us the rage. So when the rage arrives, you know, what it means, if we focus on that and you try to understand the feeling, it means that we are angry with somebody else or with ourselves because of something that happened in the past. This is the past feeling. Look how rage that we learn since children that is a bad feeling. You cannot feel rage because it's a bad feeling. Look how important it is when we pay attention with love. You know, we don't treat this feeling as a bad. He's not a bad guy. He's a guy that is there to teach us. You know that teacher that you hated when you were in school, that you are not going good on the grades? I don't know, everybody, some people hate math, some people hate English, some people hate history. It doesn't matter. But the teacher was there, and he needed to be there. He needed to teach you. It doesn't matter if you like or not. Same thing with those bad feelings. Again, they are not bad. Same thing with those professor feelings. Let's call them the professor feelings. So the rage is there to teach us, listen, pay attention in me, because you need to work on the feeling that you are having, because or you are angry with yourself or you are angry with somebody else, and you need to understand that, because it's the only way that you can go through that feeling. So if 75 of us is in sorrow and in rage because we are stuck in the past, we still have, you know, 25% to go through. So those 25 that it's not stuck in the past, 20 of us are focused on the future. We are there. So 20% is being there on the future. And what is happening? When we are stuck in the future, we only focus in the future. This happens. Our dear friend, anxiety. And when this dear friend is here, and our hearts start to, you know, beat very fast, and we don't understand, and we say, my goodness, what is happening? And again, aggravated, outbreaks. She's just showing us that we fear. We are feeling a fear. So another professor that we think that are bad and he is not, the fear is here. When we feeling that, is just here to teaching us that we cannot control, you know, we cannot avoid. Look the word that the book brings. I think is amazing. imaginary tragedies or disappointments that are in our head. Imaginary, it's not me saying, okay, it's on the book. That was from the Spiritist Mance Dufault. You know, she's bringing these lessons to us, those teachings to us. And she's saying that when we feel this fear with the anxiety, we needed to pay attention and we needed to understand that when we are feeling that, is because we are exhausted with all that energy that we are putting in something that we cannot control because we want to control the future. Like today we are here saying, my goodness, tomorrow at work, my boss is going to do that, my client is going to do this, and I needed to do this, and there is anything that we can do right now to prevent what's going to happen today at work? No, there is not. But what we do when we feel the anxiety and the fear, we say, you are bad. You are not a good teacher, so go away. And we don't want to understand what they are telling us. And when we pay attention and we can understand, we can work with. Pay attention is something also in our lives. Everything that we don't know or we do not understand, we don't like. Pay attention on that. We only like and we only want to do or work with those things that we understand and you know how to do. Only little people like to say, oh, I like to learn something new every day. I'm thinking about hard things, guys. I'm not thinking about learning a new word, you know, because you're trying to learn Italian, and every day you will learn a new word in Italian. No, it's not that my point. So when we don't understand those feelings, we putting them under the hug. It works in in English it works that thing also. So this fear gets us exhausted and drain our energy because we're trying to control the future. And after 75 in the past, 20 in the future, only 5 of us can live here synchronized in the present. I know that all of you guys are here on the 5%. I am not. Let me tell you something about it. I am not on this 5% for sure. Maybe in 1 minute of my day, if I can get here, I'm happy. But I'm working on it because the only person that can fail is the one that try. Is the one that work hard. Like for example, the name. No, I was with his name here, and I lose my paper, and you know I get a little bit nervous in English. So let's see if I find the name of the guy here, because I love that phrase that he used to use when he invented the light bulb. Thomas Edison. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm a little bit nervous when I talk in English. So Thomas Edison, when he was working on inventing the light bulb, he used to say he failed 1,000 times. He tried 1,000 times, and he got the light bulb to work on the 1,001. And he used to say, I did not fail 1,000 times. I learned 1,000 times different ways how I should not do the light bulb. So this is what we need to learn. And every time that I'm here bringing a subject to you guys, learning together, because I needed to, read about it, and I was reading about it because I needed, and I say, okay, maybe I should share, because if this is helping me, maybe this is helping somebody else. And also, I would like to go like our little buddies with the 4, paws, because they are always in the present. Look how they live. They are seeing, this beautiful view, and they are enjoying. And look at us. We are there in vacation, and we are, oh my gosh, I need to do this, I need to do that. We are here, and we cannot feel our mentors. We cannot feel the environment because we are thinking, I need to go home, I need to make the dinner, I need to wash my clothes, we are always needing to do something there, or we should have done something back then, but we are never focused on here. And we should, because being in the present, it's the only way that we can experience our reality. This is the only way that we can experience our true selves. And they're going to tell us that when we are living in the present is when we'll be adapted to the reality, is when we'll be aware of our own personal whole, is when we will accept that everything that it's not possible to do or transform is because we are in the present. So there is nothing that you can do at your house right now. You are here. Otherwise, if you just get up and go. So let's enjoy when you are at home with your family, with your children, with your friends. Let's enjoy. I have a very dear friend of mine. Oh my gosh, I love them. It's a couple that I love. And the guy, every time that we go do something, we arrive at the restaurant and he said, "What time are we going?" I said, "Listen, we just arrived here." So it's something that, you know, you live every day and sometimes you don't even pay attention. And this is interesting. So the magical word to happiness, it's acceptance. Look, I read the whole chapter, the whole book to learn one word, acceptance. It's unbelievable, right? I mean, it's just crazy. So I'm going to put right now, keep this word in mind, guys, a little video that we're going to, it's very short. It's like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, something like that. And it's just amazing, one of my favorite campaigns ever.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
All right, let's do this.
Scene 0, take 1. Mark?
So we've got one question that we want to ask you today.
Okay, well, what's that question?
The question is, if you could change one thing about your body, what would it be?
Only one.
I would change my forehead. I have a really big forehead.
I'd like to be taller.
The puffiness of my face.
My ears. I have big ears.
Stretch marks after having a baby.
A lot of times, like, kids would make fun of me, like, "Hey man, you get big ears, you got Dumbo over there, you know?"
Definitely my skin, because I've dealt with acne and eczema issues ever since I was a little kid.
我小时候，因为大家比较喜欢大眼睛的那种美女，所以我就也希望自己眼睛能大一些。
Growing up, like, a lot of people call me, like, five head, or like, your forehead's so big. They've always, like, would say something to me about it.
Yo diría porque todos caminan derecho y como que mi pie está un poco chueco. When I was younger, I felt like I wasn't quite adequate enough.
Can you sit on the chair?
No.
All right, I'm going to ask you one question.
What's the question?
If you could change one thing about your body, what would you change?
You know, have a mermaid tail.
Probably like a shark mouth, so I could eat a lot of stuff.
I could have teleportation in my body. Extra pointy ears.
I want legs like a cheetah so I can run faster like a cheetah.
I could have wings so I could
This
fly.
is my favorite.
I don't
So I
think
can
there's anything
fly.
to change.
I like my body actually.
Yeah, you wouldn't change anything?
Nothing else. Just a mermaid tail.
lot of people obsess about getting older and about the wrinkles. I love my white hair. I loved it when it started turning white. It's one of those things, because I chose to stay this way, because it just wouldn't be me if I totally changed the way I look.
That's it.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching the video. We hope you enjoyed it. I want to give a big shout out to
I have the
Heidi.
credits, of course. I'm going to put it there right now from this campaign. And it's very interesting that even the little details that sometimes we do not pay attention, we can observe in the children. How sincere they are, how truly they are. Like the little girl, when the guy asked her, can you go to the chair? Like, of course he knows that the little girl cannot go to the chair. But she looked at him and say, no. So the children has that, I'm not going to say in a sense, but they have that true, you know, they are truly beings because they are not corrupted with the society yet, you know, because like the guy that says, oh, I'm going to change my ears because I was, you know, I suffer bullying when I was, you know, children. The society, the other human beings, most of the time, unfortunately, they have the power to make us feeling not good enough, that we are not enough. And like Eleanor Roosevelt says, a person can only make you feel less with your permission. And again, I'm not saying that is easy, because it's not, you know. But when we allowed somebody else to tell us how we should be, principally physically, you should be taller, you should be, you know, thin, you should be bigger, or you should, whatever. So, and when you ask children what they're going to change, they are going to change only something that will make them more fun. So the guy want to have a shark mouth so he can eat more. And we don't want to eat at all because we get fat and everybody judge us. And the other girl, she just want a mermaid tail, you know, and the girl said, I only can change one thing because, I mean, if I could, I'm going to change everything. I want to be another person. And that's when we don't have the acceptance in ourselves, and we struggle, and we are miserable, and we keep looking for the happiness outside, and we're never going to find, because the happiness is not there. If we could be children again, we're going to be happy. It's unbelievable that even though, I'm not going to talk about this a lot because I can't, I never can go through, but even children that are hungry on the street, if you just talk to them, they are happy. And we have everything that we can have, but it's not enough for us because we are missing this, you know? So this is very quick, the credits for the campaign that I just put it through. I watch it a lot of times. I mean, it's something that I need to keep remind myself as well. But going back to the book, after they tell us that we need to accept it ourselves, they're gonna tell us that acceptance is a healing therapy because it keeps us emotionally and mentally aligned with our reality. Other word that this chapter of the book, the chapter 10, uses all the time is reality. We need to understand and we need to accept our reality, how we are. And even though if it's something bother us, that it's the next point, we need to make the effort to change. You know, the point of the book, the proposal here, it's not do not change ever. It's not improve ourselves. Don't get the point wrong. The point is accept our reality so we can have a healing therapy through acceptance. And the only healing power of love can create an inner condition of spiritual improvement and growth. So this is the point, you know, only the healing power of love and the love of ourselves. What is the point? You love your husband, you love your wife, you love your children, you love your friends, you love your parents, but you don't love yourself. So the love will never be enough. never ever be enough, So we needed to learn that only this can improve ourselves. It can make us grow, because everything that you accept in yourself is naturally easier to transform in something better. This is the point. Transform exactly what we are, exactly what we have, in something better. Because everything that we resist or we condemn, it's the strength. It brings the strengthness to the feeling of helplessness and guilt. Again, we feel like there is nothing that we can do, and we feel this guilt. Look, the weight of the guilt that we carry with us every day. And again, the proposal of the acceptance, it doesn't mean that we are going to settle down. It doesn't mean that we will accommodate ourselves. It just means that we will stop putting force, putting all our energy, expend hour of our energy in controlling the uncontrollable. It's very interesting, right? And we do that every time. I mean, when you read, it sounds so crazy. We want to controlling the uncontrollable. I mean, when we listen this in a movie, we laugh. When somebody tells, when we were watching those comedy series or something like this, and somebody tells those jokes that is so true, but because it's a comedy, we laugh and we don't put a deep thought on that. But look, how unbelievable it is. And also is accepting our imperfections, is embracing and creating a loving relationship with our personal shadow. There is this video on YouTube. I already using in another study that I do a long time ago, but it's like a 1 hour video. I just use also 3-4 minutes once. If you have time, please watch this video on YouTube. It calls The Shadow Effect. It's an amazing way also to get in contact with our inner, feelings. It's very, very interesting. As I told you guys, it's not only the Spiritism that bring the subject. This subject, it's everywhere. But I love the way that we bring it here because it's so clear and so deep that it's very important to me. So to finish, when we are going, finishing the chapter, what the book brings to us, and one way that we can practicing our acceptance and connect with ourselves is when we get in contact with the professors, our weakness, our vulnerability, and the fallible condition that we have, the flaws that we have. The only way that we can connect with ourselves and practice and exercise the acceptance is when we accepted the professors in our life. Is when we get in contact with those things that we don't want to accept at all. This word here, I don't even use it until I was probably 30-something, and I am 30-something. Like, I learned this word yesterday because I never, ever accepted this word. I still don't. I'm just trying, This is my point. That's why I needed to read this every day. That's why I'm here sharing this with you guys. Because this, never, ever, until now, I don't even want to talk about it. But I need, so that's why I'm sharing with you guys. Because I know that it's not easy, but it's not hard either. It's just, we just needed to make some effort. We need to put some effort to go there. And we needed to have the will to want to do it, those type of things. So accepting our fallibility, you guys got it, can be the best way to live a life with lightness and building acts of love and inner peace. Acts of love for us and for others. And the most interesting thing, the most important thing is that the book says that because we are humans, we use it to say, oh, okay, we failed, and, this is gone, and everything else, it doesn't matter anymore. But the laws of the universe says that there are no failures. We need to change the words. There are no failures, but there are results. It doesn't matter if the result is, positive or negative. We need to stop saying that we fail all the time. We get the results. It doesn't matter which one. And if it's not the result that we expect, we cannot get frustrated and go all the feelings that we spoke in the beginning. And also, the laws of the universe is going to tell us the results are the possible effects of our efforts, choices, and desires. So we can control the results more than when we say we fail, So this is the important thing. This is what the book is going to bring it to us, the recipe, step by step. And the expressions, that we need to use, the expressions that we should not use anymore, because they are, according to the Hermance Defoe, according to the books, they are human expressions. These expressions only us use, and we need to stop it, because they are not expressions that it's the reality of the laws of the universe. And what we can do as spiritists, as the ones that believe in the reincarnation, as the ones that believe that we have more than just this life, as, I love this word, I learned it today, immortalistas, the opticals of the immortalistas means that what we need to use as words is fresh start, we need to examine ourselves, and we need to work in the improvements. And not on the professor's words, because we can, switch. We can change that little, key here, and we can start to using better words and better points of views to describe the situations that we are going through. And when we do that, is an act of love, of self-love, because means that we're going to offer to everybody else the real learning, that the knowledge of our real capabilities. So it's okay to have flaws. It's okay to tell me, let's do something tomorrow, Patricia. And she's going to tell me, no, I can't. Patricia, can you help me moving on this weekend? I'm moving. No, I'm sorry, I can't. That's okay. What is not okay is when we don't know our real capabilities, we have the guilt to say, no, I cannot help you. And we say, yes, of course, count on me, I will be there. And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting. And because she don't want to feel guilty to tell me no, that she don't want to say, she don't want to be shamed that she don't have time. She put me and her in a bad situation because she cannot understand, she cannot accept the reality of her real capabilities. Was me? I don't know. So, but just to end, okay, I understand this to finish. This is the last one. And I always like to finish with something from the gospel according to Spiritism. That all these lessons that also we are seeing in campaigns, that we are seeing in books, that we are seeing in therapy, psychologists, everything starts there. And he said that we are the light of the world. A town built on a hill cannot be hidden. So if we elevate ourselves emotionally, spiritually, we cannot be hidden anymore. Neither do people light a lamp and put under a bowl. Think about it. What is the point? If you're in the dark, light a lamp and hide. What is the point? I mean, it's unbelievable. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds and glorify your Father in heaven. So this is in Matthew, is my favorite gospel also. So let's be the light that we are when we accepted ourselves with our flaws, That's okay. It's fine to be flawed. And after that, we can transform everything that we are in something better, in something much, much better. Thank you, guys. Thank you very, very much. Menina, eu falo para 20 mil pessoas, mas eu fico...
Not yet. Yes, it is. Thank you so much, Nachi. We can really feel your love that you have put in this presentation, and we thank you for sharing this. And I'm absolutely sure we can all resonate with something that she said. It's beautiful, really beautiful. I have a very quick few reminders here. So this weekend we're going to have the 2-day silent retreat. We have a couple of seats